Hello, everybody. Welcome to FNC Friday Night Crew, where we go over all kinds of good topics, what's going on in today's society, local, in the world, whatever. We're going to make sure we cover different topics, and we definitely going to do our best to give you our opinions. I'm Will, and I'm joined with Shan. How you doing, Shan?
Good evening. How's everyone doing? Uh, June has approached us real fast. We had half of the year. Half of the year, I can't believe it. But good evening, everyone.
And we also joined with D. How you doing, D?
Hey, good evening. How's everybody doing? Happy Friday.
Right, Friday Night Crew, Friday Night Crew. If we could, we'd be playing some music, but we don't want to hit copyright. So you know how that goes. So let's go on and hit the ground running. We got a lot of topics, some good topics that we want to go ahead and talk about this evening. So let's go ahead and start off with something that's been running rapid on social media. First up, we got former NFL player Travis Rudolph, used to play at Florida State for college, accused of murder, claimed self defense. I don't know if everybody's been keeping up with this. If not, you can easily find out because TikTok don't stop with it. Even on Twitter. So basically, he got into it with his girlfriend, and girlfriend basically got mad at him because she looked at his phone and saw that he was talking to other women. Had him FaceTime. She didn't like. Thought he was playing. Thought he was lying. So she began to assaulting him. This is what seen on tape and heard with conversations. So she got mad, called her brother. Her brother called all friends and relatives or whatever, and and the thing about it, it was later on that evening, that night when they came. So after she done riled up the troops, came over to confront him, and actually the text message was like, "Go ahead and shoot up his shit" or something like that. And so they came over with intention to do bodily harm. Travis was there at the home with the brother. I think his mother was there, and they got into it and hit him. They hit Travis, attacked him. Travis also had was able to have his gun. They had guns. Travis ended up shooting up the car that the guys was in. I think it was like 49 rounds or even more, and end up killing one of the attackers. And so now he was saying self defense, stand your ground. They not wasn't hearing it, so they charged him. He's been in prison now. His trial is up, and like I said, it's very entertaining, knowledgeable. Let me say that word, knowledgeable, because you got the girlfriend who turns out to be married.
Mm-hmm.
She was
Lord have mercy.
married at the time and probably still is married, but just got a divorce or something. Try to clean up a lot of stuff. Shannon, I know you've been following this as well as myself. You can fill in what I done left out or anything like that.
I mean, yeah, you did a good job as far as giving the backstory or whatever. I actually have not been looking at. I stumbled on it on TikTok, and I was like, "What is going on?" It just the parts I've seen. It's like a three ring circus. The disrespect, because I've seen the parts where they're interviewing or on the stand is the ex girlfriend, the brother, friend, whoever, and they are totally disrespectful. Totally disrespectful. I'm surprised that they have been put in contempt of court. Um, but I mean, the text messages from what they have shown, she should be up there. She should have charges on her. I don't condone any type of violence, anything like that, but I understand. He was trying to, what did he say? It was self defense. I think also his brother, they was over beating on his brother too as well, from my understanding. But it is a three ring circus to the 10th degree. It's just ridiculous. I just can't believe, and the judge seems like he has no control of the courtroom as far as it goes with that. The stuff that she says, the stuff that I watched, I don't know which one it was being disrespectful or just totally disrespectful for to the I think it's the prosecutor. It's a mess. It's a total mess. I won't be surprised, to be honest with you, if he gets off. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
And I
and
wouldn't say I would hurt Nate. I hated that guy may rest in peace, and he ended up getting shot and killed. But that was crazy, and in no way, shape, or form. This is the thing she tried to deny, that she wanted him killed. She didn't want him killed. Yeah, you did. You wanted him hurt.
yeah, it,
She, from the text message, you want him hurt.
well, also, yes, you never want to see somebody lose their life, but when you go over to somebody's house and start attacking them, and you have gunplay
Hmm.
yourself, no one's feeling sorry for
Yep.
that. I mean, that's how that is. And yes, one of the things is that they said the lead detective, she didn't even talk to the first officer on site. So
Yeah.
they automatically went straight to Travis and like done deal. Not even, I mean, this is real shoddy. And he should, and really the judge should be right now getting whatever he needs to get and go ahead and dismissing this, because and putting his girlfriend or whatever ex girlfriend on trial because she orchestrated all that. I know. D, what's your thought
Mhm.
on this? I know we're trying to get everybody up to par on this. What is your thought on
No, and I
this
appreciate
situation?
it. Yeah, I appreciate it because I have not been following and uh, definitely not familiar with this whole case. From what you all been saying, it sounds like a big total mess. Definitely sounds like, if it's the way it's being pictured, it sounds like self defense. And like Shannon said, if it's that chaos going on in the courtroom, I wouldn't be surprised if it's thrown out. Definitely going to go back and look at it after the show just so I can just catch myself up because it seems to be very interesting, but just messy situations. And, and it sounds like, especially if she herself was married, and I mean, it's a triangle already existed anyway, possibly. But then you calling and getting your family to come over to shoot up a place. I mean, if it was me, I mean, you are gonna have to defend yourself. And so, I mean, I don't know. And you said he's been in jail for 2 years.
Mm,
It's happened with 2021. Is that what it was,
yeah,
House? I mean,
yeah,
excuse me, Williams. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
that don't make any sense. And where is this happening at? What state?
Florida. I think it's Florida. Is it
Okay.
Florida or Louisiana?
I can't
I
remember,
I
but I
know
know
he.
it's one of the stand your grounds
I know. I think it's Florida.
state.
I know he played college football in
It,
Florida
it,
State.
it is state. It is. Well, Florida's a stand your ground state,
Yeah, I
right?
think it's
Yeah, he
Florida.
thought he was going to be able to use that, but it didn't work.
Well, that's
I
because they. And I'm sorry,
think
dude. And that's because they looked at him, and he had an AK 47. So that's the only reason.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if he
So
was a different color, it'd have been okay. But go ahead, D.
So we talking about a different type of gum of heavy magnitude that they looked at, and as William said, if it had been of a different persuasion, it probably would have been a different outcome because it is a stand your ground state. So my
Hmm.
thing is, in terms of somebody comes on your property and they intending to harm you, then you do got to do self defense. I'm just trying to understand why he's been in jail for 2 years.
Sad.
Hmm.
Charlie said that's totally sad.
One of the things too, they said, I don't know about the law over there, and stuff like that, but they said one of the things was they felt like they were leaving the scene. But he also said they had guns pointing back at him, and that was the reason why he chose to fire into the car.
Mm.
So,
Well, like I said,
so I don't know.
at the end of the day,
Somebody that made, and
they
I'm
have missing text messages that she done erased.
Yep.
They got all kinds
Yep.
of stuff that she's done, and really, if this is really the justice system that it's supposed to be, how it's supposed to be work, he should be off, and they should be issuing a warrant for
Absolutely.
her arrest because she
Absolutely.
caused
yeah,
all this. That guy who
Absolutely.
was her brother's friend or whatever will be living today if she did not say that he's over here disrespecting me. He done put his hands on me, which every
But
video
she
and
would have gone ahead.
every video shows that dude was trying to get her, hey, leave, and she wouldn't, and all this kind of stuff. And I mean, granted, we wasn't inside the house, but things like that. So who knows? But suppose she hit him with a trophy, all on top of this, all kinds of stuff. But she made it. She escalated it, and that's why we got what we got going on right now, which is a sad thing.
Hmm.
Sad.
Again,
Absolutely sad.
yeah, again, I just don't understand why he's been in jail for 2 years. Just waiting, waiting. That's just crazy to me.
Our legal system for you. Our legal system. South Carolina store owner accused of fatally shooting a 14-year-old boy in the back, charged with murder. Think the owner. What happened was the boy had four. Now this is what is really silly. Had four water
Hmm.
bottles.
Hmm.
He ended up putting them back, but he goes out the store and the owner thinks he's stealing. And
Hmm.
so a little chase or whatever, all this kind of stuff. Boy was running away. Owner shot him in the back. Supposedly the owner's son was with him too, so they all was there. Ain't no telling, but it was like one shot. They try to say the little boy had a gun, and he might have had a gun, might have fell out or whatever. But the way the autopsy was done, there's no way that the little boy aimed a gun at them or anything. It was clearly evidence that they shot him in the back. The owner was talking about how all these other people that came in the store and robbing, and he's got to be on high alert. But when you think about it, that's the problem. People do not value black people's lives. Four
Hmm.
water bottles,
Absolutely.
4 water bottles. Hell, you
Hmm.
should have said, "Hey, son, are you thirsty? Go ahead and take them. Eat that.
Yeah,
Well,
Right.
eat that. We can't help that. It's
Water.
a dollar 99. You have to overcharge for
a
water anyway. But
shotgun,
eat that.
right? A
Yeah.
shotgun to the back. I mean, come on. Well,
Yeah.
let me start with. I'm just sick of hearing about stories like this. Just sick of it. It's very sickening and it's sad. And I feel like that a lot of these store owners and there's people in general who do things like this feel like they can get away with this because they've seen other people get away with it. And it's
Right.
just sad. It's very sad and sickening. And as you said, William and Shannon concurred in regards to 4 water bottles. Hell, I hope no one else was in the store because I would have bought them 4 water bottles. That was it. There's no reason to shoot anyone. I don't care if it is a child or adult over 4 water bottles.
Sad.
4 water bottles.
Hmm.
Crazy.
Go ahead, Shannon.
Just sick of hearing about stories like that.
I mean, I echo what Dion said. I mean, and you too, William. As far as it's ridiculous. 4 bottles. I mean, what and anything. Period. And then you chase him. Both of you all chase him out the property. And the thing about it is for what? If he would have stole those, you know what I'm saying, and you still chased him, so you was out to shoot somebody. You had to be, especially if
Wow.
you shot him from the back. You meant to do something like that. So to me
Yeah,
personally, I mean, you got charged with murder. You should be charged with murder.
yeah.
I mean,
And
I
this
think he should. And it's
this
sad, and I'm like, yeah, I'm tired of hearing about these stories like this. This just tell you how they value people's life. We know he didn't steal, and there was a wonderful. I've seen it on TikTok. My source of news, I guess, where the sheriff and the coroner were talking, and the sheriff even said, "This is unnecessary. This should not have
Mm,
happened," and he is being charged with murder. So I mean, kudos, and I hope that everything plays out the way it should be. And the charges, I mean, he's been formally charged, I guess, with them. I hope they do stick or whatever. This is unnecessary and uncalled for. I do understand where he was kind of, but they're not fearful, but people been stealing. But to shoot somebody dead in the back, that's unnecessary,
yeah,
dude.
a
And
little
it reminds
boy,
you of that. Yeah, it reminds you of that the incident was in L.A. where the
the
black
girl,
young lady got shot. The
the
girl got
girl.
shot
Yeah, yeah,
in that store, and the woman
yeah.
accused her of stealing. So it
Right.
just brings
mhm.
back memories. I'm pretty sure that's just really
Yep.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
That was like
yeah.
in, I think
Sick
that
of
was
it.
either 83 or 85. She
Hmm.
was getting orange juice and stuff like that, and
Hmm.
got accused of stealing in L.A. and killed her right
Yeah.
there. And thing about it is so many stories like that
Oh,
because
Yes.
that we don't hear about.
and you
Yeah.
have to and you really have to make sure this new generation, they don't know. And it's back like when you need to tell people, don't touch nothing, don't put your hands in your
Exactly.
pockets,
Don't put your hand in your
whatever you
pocket.
get, bring it up or pay for it and get out. Don't be lingering. Don't be acting like
Stop
you on
touching
the phone.
stuff.
Get out of there
Yep. Ooh, Lord, I
because
preach.
they on high alert. And like Dion
Yep.
said, and I know Shannon's been talking about it too. It's giving them a reason in their mind. And this guy,
Yeah, like
this
you
this
said.
was an Asian. This was an Asian owner. I mean, I don't care if it's white owner, black owner. I don't care who it was. You don't shoot nobody. No, and I not even just a kid. I mean, I'm saying that I'm sorry that it was
Period.
a 14, but a human being for 4 water bottles.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Full water bottle.
That is
And
really
you put
crazy.
them back. I mean, you looking at it
Yeah,
on the
he put them
camera. I
back.
mean,
He put them
you
back.
see that he put the coroner or the sheriff or somebody said that he politely put them back.
Yeah.
So what is it that you did? What did you think he said? I mean, what
I mean,
Uh,
did you ask him?
craziness?
Did you ask him? Did you ask him about it
Right.
before you started shooting? I mean, that's also key. So if you think that he didn't put it back, what happens to what happened to? Let me confront you to see if you have them or not, and give me a chance to say I don't have them. They're not in my hand. I put them
well,
back. I mean, I don't understand it. I'm just sick of
so
it.
who
Sick.
lost vision though? You guys, you and your son been watching them. So who? I mean,
Yeah.
one of you guys
Absolutely.
should saw. Well, Dad, he actually
He
put
put
them
them
back.
back.
Something. I
Yep.
mean, come on now. That's sad. A sad
Yeah.
situation all the way around.
Rest in
Another
peace, young
another
man.
sad
Rest in
situation. Miss Jackie O, wilding out, passed away. They are saying from a mommy makeover. She was 32 years old, uh, married to a comedian. The thing about it is that people go to these, and I don't know exactly where she went or anything. The stuff is slowly coming out, but to me, I, reason why this topic's on her, not solely just because her who she. I mean, it's plenty of people out there to do shows and stuff. My whole thing is the danger of people going to do these makeovers or these BBLs or whatever. Some doctors are, I was listening to some stuff today, and a lot of doctors said that, what they do, and I'm not talking about her specific things, so that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about surgery, period, talking about butt lifts or BBLs and things like that. So what they do is take your fat from your stomach and around areas, and they rework it, do what they got to do to baby to shoot it back in. But people fail to realize, the doctor said, that it's like little tiny veins in your butt, and that if you're shooting fat in there, it could clog it. And what it does is shooting that fat right up to that main artery vein that leads to your heart
Oh
and get
Lord.
into your lungs. And so
Mm.
once it gets in there, this fat that's not supposed to be in there, it's instant. You're gone. You're gonna
Oh
die
no.
from it. And so you have a lot of people who's doing this stuff that are probably not trained and don't even know that they just shooting people. And people, not like I said, another disclaimer. I'm not talking about her. I'm just talking in general with these different surgeries, which are not healthy, was not legal, nothing like that. And so people have made a killing off of this, and everybody's trying to do it. That's why they call it a Brazilian, and it's not safe. So, who to think that there's some veins in your butt that's gonna, what I'm saying, get
Mm.
shot with fat, and
Just
all of a sudden it's gonna from your butt
me today.
to your main artery, and then all of a sudden it just kaplooey. So I think people need to be aware that yes, hey, she just had a baby. She just had a baby. This and oh man, they did it. Not everybody's doing the same thing, and it can affect you. She's not the first one. If she truly did die from a mommy makeover because she just had a baby, this is not the first one. And as this is going on, when people can go anywhere to get these, it won't be the last.
Mm.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
clearly something went wrong. I mean, you
Mm.
32 years old, and all I kept seeing online was, just a sudden death. So I hadn't, really delved into see what exactly was being said. So thank you for sharing that information of what they are suspecting. And if this is the case, it's really it speaks to some of the minds of individuals in our society in regards to as soon as you have to have, as soon as you have a baby, you have to be looking immediately back like your normal self. And for a woman who's had a baby, it is a toll on your body. And it's just you. Some people don't never go back to being the same, and some people do. I mean, but it's just like in terms of how I don't know. It's like it's perceived that you have to look a certain way, and I know that she's somewhat in the limelight. I don't think I've ever heard of her, but I know of the comedian that she is with or was with and wilding out and everything. So I mean, you're in the limelight somewhat, and so when you're in the limelight, you often feel like you have to look a certain way, and maybe that's what happened. She felt like she had to look a certain way. I don't know. 32 years old is young.
And three
It's
kids.
very young. So regardless, yeah, and so regardless of the
Yeah.
circumstances, it's a sad situation. She was very young, as William said, have three kids. I assume I don't know their ages, but three young kids. So them kids have lost their mom. I mean, it's just a sad situation, regardless of why she passed away. It's just sad.
Shannon.
Okay. Yeah. Rest in peace, Jackie. I used to follow them on TikTok and stuff, so very familiar with them. Rest in peace. I mean, I hate that that happened. Like you said, if it was the cause of that, the mommy makeover and everything. A lot of people are getting those things, and like you said, when people will continue to get those, regardless of I guess that somebody told me that they have this disclaimer talking about the effects or what could happen and everything, and you sign those when you do this BBL or whatever she was having done or whatnot. So, rest in peace. You know, feel sorry for the partner and the kids and the family, rest of the family and friends. So,
Mm. Yep. 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 Sad. 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 Three teens arrested after killing and eating a New York Village prize swan. Supposedly, this was the mother goose of the swans, and these kids thought it was a duck, went duck hunting, as hence eating, and like I said, they arrested them. So that lets you know how much, and this is another thing, and this is good because I would like to follow the history, and I'm not saying that whatever, but I would like to see how many people got arrested for killing a human. Did they do, like, did they, I mean, because they arrest them right away, charge, all this kind of stuff. And you know what? Love animals, had animals, got a nephew that's an animal, all kinds of stuff. But I need you to have that same energy when little Thomas get killed or Big Tommy get killed, and be on the hunt and get these people, and we're gonna do this. I have no problem with mascots of communities and things like that. I get it, I get it. But to me, if you valuing this animal more than you value human life, and maybe I got 100% lockup rate in this New York village. I don't know. But this,
yeah.
yes, these are teens. They say they mistakenly thought this, but come on now. Let's be real. Let's be real. So they gonna get some charge on killing the mother goose of the swans. I just hope that they have that same energy when it comes to humans getting killed and they on the run and chasing them. I don't know. So whoever wants it, you got it.
Yeah.
Well, I think that we pretty much know in society, sometimes depending on who you are, where you live, animal cruelty is at a top level of more of I guess punitive than hurting or killing a human. And it's just, I think it's been several cases that have been I guess in the media over the years in terms of animal cruelty. In regards to these three teens, I mean, I'm just trying to figure out why they did it anyway. I mean, I just don't understand. Regardless, it just seems a little sickening to me in regards to you killing a duck and
That's a
eating.
hell of a dir, ain't it?
Yeah, so I mean, regardless of it being a prize swan or not, I mean, it just seems a little barbaric for it to even be happening anyway. Okay. But again, like I said, in society, often animal cruelty is at a top level of punitive uh, punishment than it is as far as hurting or killing a human. So it just seems a little bit sickening to me as far as just the act of these three teens, regardless.
Shannon.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, echo everything y'all said. I mean, the fact that they snuck in the middle of the night to get this, told that they weren't supposed to do it anyway. So
Yeah.
my thing is, I mean, why didn't you go to the store and get a chicken, a turkey, or whatever? So maybe you couldn't afford. I mean, I'm serious because you knew you was wrong for going to the pond and getting it.
Yeah.
I
I
mean, I
didn't
think
know they snuck.
that was
Yeah. I didn't know they
wrong.
snuck. Yeah.
Yeah, I was reading they snuck and the family ate it. That's not the three teams. The family ate it of the Memorial Weekend. So I mean, yeah, that's wrong.
Where
Yeah,
was
you should be
this at?
valuing the life. That's wrong. I mean,
Where was
I'm
this
just gonna
at?
say it's
Was
wrong,
New
it
York.
right now?
It's
huh?
New York. It's a New York
Uh,
village.
New York
New York,
Village. Okay.
New York.
Oh,
So I mean,
okay.
that was wrong.
Well, what?
Because you knew you said to sneak and get it. I mean, in the middle of the night. Come on now.
Why they this?
So like, I mean,
Why they
then the
this?
family ate it.
Why they this arrest the whole family?
Well, I don't know. Maybe because they turned them. I don't know. But it's like you said, you should be valuing your life, and people do. But they were wrong for doing it. Now I don't know about all that and what channel charges or whatever. But I mean, you're wrong. They're wrong. You know what I'm saying? But they ate it for Memorial Weekend, so that's what
Oh
it
my
said.
goodness.
Allegedly ate it for Memorial Weekend. So
Well,
I don't know who turned them in.
the defense is gonna say, look, they were starving, they didn't have nothing.
Yeah,
They're
probably they
gonna.
might have been.
I mean, eh,
Mhm.
you,
Yeah,
you should,
I don't know about eating no swan, but okay.
they said they thought it
Yeah,
was duck. They thought it was
I
duck.
was.
They thought it was duck.
I was.
They might have. They might have. You're right. I
All
don't know.
right, moving right along.
Yeah.
Now into some good relationship type. This kind of different topics and stuff. Who has more pressure to marry, men or women? And the thing about it is, we're different generations and things like that. So we seen how it was and how it is. So let me start with the woman that's been married. So D, in your opinion and why, who has the more pressure to marry, men or women?
Uh, mm. I mean, if we were talking about some years ago, I would say I would just hands down say women. I don't know in terms of in today's society who has more pressure to marry because things have just transitioned to a whole different norm. I know we're going to talk about some other questions coming up, but it's a whole different society. It's a whole different just feel on relationships. Period. Marriage is not even looked upon. I feel like the same. Um, I don't, to be quite honest, I don't know who has the most pressure at this time to marry.
Sh-
I can't honestly say women. I can't. I would say it's probably even just it's a equal pressure on both sides at this point.
Shan, what you got?
Hmm. I kind of echo Leon, but I don't know. I think it just depends on your situation. I think when you're maybe in your late 20s or maybe 30s, I think the pressure's on. You might have pressure from your family members about, are you getting married, stuff like that. I mean, it might be equal balance. I think it used to be where the women, were getting pressure to be married. I really don't know. I think as you get older, being in your 50s, I don't know. I mean, you want to. I mean, you want to maybe want to be married, but I mean, is it a pressure to get it? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I would have said women, but nowadays I think it depends. It might be the men. So
Yeah,
I don't.
and
That's
I
all
tell you
there.
what, another factor also is probably your culture. Now, some cultures
Yeah.
probably still like if we were in Europe or
Africa,
as far as just a different culture, maybe looked at differently. But in America, I don't know. So
yeah, um, yeah, and like you said, I think culture has a lot to do with it because some of them they still keep they same have kept their same values, and I think on those kind of culture is like arranged marriages. So
yeah,
it's a pressure for both. Everybody's got not even just the men and women, so the family. From the kids to everybody, everybody's got to participate because that's what we do. Um, for America, I would say that the pressure has been on women, you know. And then a lot of the pressure is not so much like Shannon kind of hit on it is society pressure, because your girlfriend done got married, and all your little girlfriends, and you want to keep up with them and things like that, and the guys want to, what I'm saying, hey, I can't hang out with you because you're the single, and you better for me to be and fit in, you got to do this. I think it was more of the women, but I see it back in the day that men also had that pressure. You know what I'm saying, that, but now uh, marriage is definitely value in the spiritual part of things. But outside of that, I don't think it is. I just think that we have moved to a different place and time in United States. Not talking about
Yeah.
nowhere else in the United States.
right.
That there's so many people who are not married. There's so many people who have been married and not married. It's got so many people
Divorce,
that it got so many people that like they looking for more companions. They looking for people, life partners type stuff like that. And you just it's just all over the place. So I totally agree with you, D. And Shannon also that as of currently speaking, as a single man, I don't feel no pressure at all. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's just my thing. Back in the day, maybe, but it also is like who you roll with, because a lot of my friends wasn't married, so it was just like, okay, whatever. But we had some friends that were, so it wasn't no pressure. To just like, oh, okay, it's cool. But like I said, as a man, it's different. As a woman, you guys, of course, you guys to speak on that. But I do think today's time, I don't think there's no pressure. You don't even hear people. Back in the day, especially growing up, you had people. What were some of your dreams and what are your goals? Your goals was to get married
absolutely.
in your 20s or 21, have a big family, a kid.
Mm.
You don't hear them kids saying that stuff no more.
Mm-mm.
You
Hell
know
no.
what I'm
It's
saying?
the
You don't
same
hear
thing
that.
as far as the pressure for women to have kids. It's really not said too much anymore. It's so many. I mean, many of my friends are kidless. Many,
Right,
and and it's just it doesn't. I feel like it's less pressure with that as well. It's less expected. I'm gonna say
right,
pressure, less expected.
right. It's
I think
totally
it's,
different.
I think it still goes on, but I think it's not as it used to be. You know what I'm saying? I remember being in your 20s and 25, and people would ask you, and maybe it's just like the age. You know what I'm saying? I mean, being in your 50s, ain't nobody really asking. Family, are you getting married? I mean, I think they ask you in your 30s, and maybe a little bit in the 40s. I'm not really
Well,
sure, but the 20s and 30s, are you getting married? Are you having kids? But as you get older, nobody's really saying too much to that.
well, in
My
certain
No,
in
experience.
that's
certain
question.
in certain in certain not cultures. I don't want to say certain communities. You may see more people getting married in their 40s and 50s than they are in their 20s.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
true. But I think
So
it's less pressure. I think it's less
it
pressure.
ain't no pressure.
Um,
When you're in your
yeah,
40s
it's
and
just
50s, it's like you this.
When you
yeah.
ready,
I mean,
you
Yeah,
ready.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. You ready? And I think it's less. Unlike like you said in your 20s and 30s, you got family members asking you. Like you said, you have girlfriend, or your sister. Somebody's, are you getting married when you have your baby? Or so and so, you getting older. But when you get in your 40s and 50s, that's like if you get married, it's great. If you don't, okay, that's okay too. You know.
yeah.
So
It's like all right.
Yeah.
Yep, yep, yep. All right, next one. Are online relationships real? When you talk to people, or can you have a and it can be twofold. Can you have a online relationship? Because it's many people in today's society, they might as well have an online relationship because all they doing is texting each other. You know what I'm saying? They ain't seeing each other. They ain't doing that. I ain't got time to talk on the phone and all this. So maybe online is now I'm looking at maybe social media relationships. That's all that. But we can add, of course, online. But how do you guys feel about online? And we can put a slash social media relationship. And I really say that not to be tongue in cheek or whatever, but there's a lot of people, especially this generation, and older people, don't want to deal with people. I don't feel like talking. I don't want to talk to you on the phone. I'd rather text you. I really ain't got time to see you, but you're my boo. You're my boo. Quick to throw the boo word out and all this kind of stuff like that. You know, it, it, it's just the society that we live in. So, Shannon, what are your thoughts on it? I
Okay.
added on there.
Okay. Thank
Are
you.
online social media relationships real? Had to update it.
I think. Okay. I think they are. I mean, my thing is this: if you're a person that doesn't really go out or things like that, that's going to be your way of meeting the same people that you meet. I do believe personally that you meet on the social media or wherever you these days. I mean, it can be. I'm not saying that they are, but they can be. I think relationships are real. It depends on what level you take it. I mean, you do have some of those that all you do is text, but however, you do have some of those where you're communicating. We have this social media, around this FaceTime, this Zoom, all this other kind of stuff like that. So it might be a reason why y'all distant for right now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. But I think they can be real. I think they can. But also, I do believe it can't last forever. Somebody's going to have to make that move. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a short thing. It can be a short, but eventually, if you all going to come together as one, if you all going to make it, I don't like to say the word real, but if you're going to come together as one, you're going to have to meet up in the same place. You're gonna have to, because I'm sure through the social media relationships, it comes a time where you are in between meeting up at times. You know what I'm
I,
saying?
I
So you're
hope
meeting
so.
up, he's going there, she's going there. Well, maybe not, but you should be. You should be. I mean, I don't know. But the thing about it is, I think eventually you do come together under one state, home or whatever. But I think they can work. I think they real.
I
Just
mean,
depending on the
that's
person.
that's why we had the show Catfish. Dion, what you think
Yeah.
about it?
Yeah.
Well, I was prepared to say, and I still am going to say in terms of this is a very loaded and broad question because there's so many different dynamics and parts of the online social media relationships. But I think you all both described it well in regards to, texting in today's society, back and forth, and, it limits the whole face to face contact, meeting people through your social platforms, whether it's Facebook, uh, TikTok, Instagram. I think it can be real. Let's not dismiss in terms of some people still play games, whether it's online or in person. So,
Mm-hmm.
those relationships that you think is real that's in person may not be real. So, I mean, it's how
Can I
you
get an
look at it. It's how
amen?
you look at it. And I think Shannon expanded upon that in regards to the realness becomes really real when it's determined that you make that whole face to face connection um, and contact. But if you just, I mean, relationships is more intimate. Relationships could just be you just end up just being friends. But yes, it can be real. I think it can be real.
Um, right, loaded, definitely loaded. Online relationships. I think it's real in a lot of people's minds because you can be who you want to be, and a lot of those online don't. They may not meet up. You know what I'm saying? Online relationship happens long before social media was even in existence.
Mm-hmm.
That's how i.e. the catfish and things like that. And it's a way because some everybody cannot talk or cannot communicate themselves in a way and get nervous and like Shannon said, introverts, different stuff like that. That's cool. I get it. So those are relationships. Those are something that you bonded, that you every morning you're getting that email, that Teams or whatever. Good morning, Queen. All that kind of stuff. I mean, that happens. And now we just fast forward to social media. It still goes on, right? Because that's an easy
Yeah.
way to communicate. That
So
goes on.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So all that is a part of it. So no one's saying that this relationship is that you're my woman or whatever. So you do have some relationships online and social media that are real with that because I haven't heard from you. Are you okay? What's going on? I'm used to hearing from you in the morning. What's going on, boo? All that kind of stuff like that. That happens. Good night, boo. And you thinking, hey, I ain't seen you. And then, like Shannon said, now then you got the people who are slick with it. They get on Messenger. If you ain't got an Apple phone, you ain't got this FaceTime on Apple. You go ahead and go on Messenger and see somebody, what's going on. Hey, you know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. You may never see that person in life, but you done seen them on FaceTime or
No,
Messenger. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
well,
saying
let's
that that's a certain kind of relationship. You know what I'm saying?
well,
That's
and you
that's
could have
that's
started
it
out.
is.
Yeah, you could have started out and met them face to face, but then at that point, all you doing is communicating by text and
Yeah, people do
online
that.
and Facebook. So I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
in terms of online relationship, again, that's why I said it's kind of broad because are you talking about the initial contact, or are you talking about how it can be
Period.
carried through? Because in today's society, I can meet somebody at the corner store or at Kroger's, and we exchange telephone numbers, but then all I do is get a text back and forth every day or
Mm-hmm.
every evening, good morning,
Yes.
good night, or whatever.
Yes.
But that is still like an online. So it depends on as
Yeah.
far as how you're putting it. But yeah, it's like, it's not just about the whole meet online, because you can have an existing relationship that you met with somebody face to face and still have something that is
Well,
considered a social media relationship.
well, I mean that's why the
Right.
question is online social media relationship. So,
Yeah.
and a lot of people think it's easier, even and it's not just men, it's women. It's women too. I'd rather have a text and all this kind of stuff. A text you. I ain't got time to talk on the phone. All that kind of stuff like that. And I just think that social media and even online because online I always think about the old, like years ago type emails, the IMs and stuff like that. I think it's made it easy to communicate people, and also, if you don't want to talk to nobody, just hey, you get that old text. What's going on? What you doing? What's that? WID. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
I
you
don't
so
like
you so you can't say I ain't even. Hey, what you mean you ain't heard from me? I asked what you doing. What's all that kind of stuff like that, all that slick stuff.
I can't even
Yeah,
get this spelled. If I can, you can't spell it out. I mean, I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
I know I
WID
ain't
is
spelled
It's
that.
it's so
I
many
said, "Forget
acronyms.
what you think."
It's so many acronyms that I'd be like, I guess I show my age. I'm like, what? What is that?
hmm
What are you talking
I don't
about?
know. Yeah.
I'm like,
I
hey,
have to
the
Google it.
boys don't.
I got too
I
much
be like
other.
that too. I'm like, I
I
spell it out. Like
I got too
you
much
ask
other
me
stuff
what
I got to
my
worry about to be worrying about some
yeah.
IGDDT. And I ain't got time for all that. So yeah,
I
and
mean,
after a while,
what I would
and
like to
also it
say,
depends
what I
on
like to
you.
say
It
though,
depends on. Hold on, real quick, real
Yeah.
quick. It also depends on you because you can say, hey, this is not what I'm doing. I've done that. Like, okay, that's
yeah,
cool, but I need to talk to
because
you.
right, because I would say that,
Okay.
those shorthand stuff or acronyms doesn't dismiss your interest. It's just as you said, William. You can say, "Hey, don't or don't," but I prefer in terms of having a more conversation, conversing more about it. Otherwise, you're gonna get what you allow. So, I mean,
Right.
that's just you. You setting your boundaries within your
Yeah.
relationship. If you're okay with that online or that texting, I ain't gonna just say online, that
Right.
texting, but
Right.
and I will also like to add in is essential with online in terms of the face that's where the FaceTime, whether it is it's not just through iPhone, you can do your Google chat and all that stuff. That's
Mm-hmm.
where it's essential too, because catfishing is real, but also in terms of let's talk some face to face. So sometimes there is a distance that prevents that human contact, that face to face, at least initially. But if you can at least talk to me and your camera's on, then it kind of brings it a little bit more real. And then, like Shannon had mentioned earlier on, if it gets to that stage where it's something different, then that's for you and that other person to determine that, hey, let's just meet up. If it's more than a friendship, if it's not more than a friendship, then you just may keep talking online. You know what I'm saying, or face to face, or not face to face, FaceTiming or texting. I mean,
Right,
that's up to
right.
those two individuals.
Cool. All right, moving on, moving on. Let's go. Is dating more complicated today than it was 20 years ago? I mean, I could go ahead and rock and roll with this, but I'll go ahead. Shannon, go ahead. You can go ahead. What
I
do you
mean,
think?
I think it's. I'm not gonna say it's difficult. What I will say is, I think as you get older, it becomes difficult. You're gonna. I mean, to me,
Mm,
yeah, as older it becomes difficult, and I tell you why. As a
please
person,
do.
you don't have dated, and then the late. Well, the reason why I say this is because of this. The older you get, the more you set in your ways. I've had relationships, and we were both set in our ways, and it was a little bit more difficult. I think not necessarily, not to say that it couldn't have worked. We had a, I think it can become a little bit more difficult as you get older. I just believe that.
For what
And that's
reason?
I don't know.
What reason?
I mean, I just
For
think
you.
it's in
I
our
mean, we're
way.
talking about experience. We're talking about like for you. So what? How is it more difficult? I'm just asking.
I mean, I said it can be difficult. I mean, you both set in your ways and stuff like that. I mean, you've already built your stuff. I don't know. It can be. I think it just depends on the person. Let's put it that way. Because it doesn't have to be. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be just the person that you're dealing with. It might be. Let's put it that way. Um, it's probably the same as it was back in the day. To be
Hmm.
honest, I mean, it probably might have been. I mean, I mean, I just think it's all individually based. And I think everybody has their own, it depends
Let
on
me
each person.
let me ask you this. Can I ask you something?
You
From 20
can. I don't
years
know if I'm
now
gonna
to
answer.
now. Well, that's cool. I mean, I'm used to it. We are
Okay, go ahead.
siblings on here for the people who don't know. Those are my two sisters. So, do you prefer to go on dates more now than you did back then?
Hmm. You know what? I'm not trying to put my business out there, but I've always. I mean, I'm gonna say, hmm,
Yes or no?
that's a good question. I mean, I don't know. I mean, go dates like
Shannon,
okay,
you know what date? You know what dates are, honey.
yeah. I mean, I've usually been the right. Okay, yeah, I mean, I like to be able to do that. I mean, I like now. I would like to be able to go dating. I mean, I could be dating with the same person and going different places.
Yeah, yeah. Ain't nobody
Yeah,
talking about with
yeah,
20
yeah.
different
Yeah,
people.
be with somebody and going different places and seeing different things. I'm 53, be
So,
54 in December.
so
So,
you like to go right now?
hmm
You would say that right now, and right now you would like to go on more dates than you did back then. I'm just asking.
yeah, I want to go see the world now. I want to see the world. Yeah.
Oh, so your dating includes expensive trips to
No,
different
no, that's
countries.
not. No, it does not. I mean, no, it does not. I mean, it could be walks in the park. No, do
I'm
not
just asking.
take my words and screw them. No, I'm just saying. No, I guess you know what?
The
Pass.
same
Go on to
is
somebody
the
else. Pass. And go to somebody else because I'm not gonna answer. Bye.
Okay, Dion, Dion.
same. Shit is like, get off my back. I mean, I have to agree with Shannon in respect to it does get a little different as you get older.
Hmm.
I'll be 53 in October, and the whole dating scene is just different. So it's like what you expected maybe some time ago is a lot different now. Um, yeah, so I don't know if it makes it complicated more so than different. But I will say, in regards to that, there is this different. I feel like relationship goals than what it was before. So
Absolutely.
some people are not necessarily interested in dating, maybe
Absolutely.
hooking up, but not dating. So you
What's hooking
got to
up?
define what
Hooking up is what?
you got to define what date. Now, let's define what dating is, Shannon. Let's stay with
I'm
that.
just
Let's
saying, explain it to the people.
Yeah, no, that's so dating would be going to different places and you actually getting to know each other and you are just dating. Some people are not interested in dating. And so, so I think that could make it more complicated. But again, it's just relationship goals are different. Um,
Mhm.
you're a different person than what you was 20 years ago. But as a
Absolutely.
mother of a 17 and 19-year-old, it's like what does that even mean? So their definition versus my definition is totally different. It's totally
Yeah.
different.
D, let
And
me ask you.
so
D, let me ask you like I asked her. So, and I understand, you know what I'm saying? So 20 years ago, or even young, even earlier, let's say this, able to date and things like that. Like, do you want to go on dates more now? Like, right now compared back then?
I would say yes because I feel like I still like to date. I still
Mm-hmm.
want to go and to me that's a chance to really get to know someone
Okay.
more intimate. So to me, if I'm really interested in that person, then yes, I do want to go out on a date. If we just it's just again, it's what your relationship goals are, and it's
Right.
also what your relationship goals are with that particular person that you are talking to. Okay, so also
Right.
we need to reference what talking is versus dating because talking versus dating is not the
Yeah.
same,
Well,
and I think sometimes that gets
go ahead.
confused and used interchangeably, but it's not the same. If we're
Well,
talking, I
Yeah.
mean, that
well,
don't necessarily mean we date.
okay. Well, you open up
It's
a
true.
good thing. So what is dating compared to talking to you?
For me, dating is that we are actually going out and we are dating. We are going to different places. We are getting to know each other. If we are just talking, talking be I may talk to you 2 months ago. I may talk to you a month ago.
That is that
It's just
is that just phone calls? Is that just like text
it's
messages type
That's
stuff?
true.
talking. We're not really doing anything. We haven't even moved beyond a point of
Casual.
just really kind of, you know, I don't know what. And again, that's my
Right. That's your
definition. And
interpretation. That's your
I
interpretation.
think yes, I think that has definitely possibly changed over time in
Okay.
terms of because again, I
That's what I
think
wanted to hear.
yeah, because I think that now it's more interchangeably in terms of maybe being the same. It's
That's what I want to hear.
synonymous. It's
That's what
not
I want to hear.
necessarily different. And for me, it's different. But if
Right.
you would ask somebody, like again, you may be even asking my sons, and then that may be the same. We talking,
Ain't no
talking
telling
and
with
dating
that
are not the
generation.
same.
No.
Yeah, but for me, that's not the same.
Okay.
That's not the same. So we
Shed.
seeing each other. Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, I can because that's relationships and stuff is a whole interesting topic. Don't be dinging me.
Nah, I like it. Time to move on. Shannon, back. Shannon, real quick before I give my spill. What's the difference to you dating and talking? Do you have
I mean, the same like Dion dating is going out and doing things, experimenting. I mean, exposing yourself to different things. I mean, it could be a museum, it could be walks, it could be trips. Then talking is basically okay. I'm just to me, talking is the beginning stages of a relationship.
okay?
I'm getting to
Yeah.
know
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
you,
No.
Okay.
Yeah. I
and
agree.
that may, but that may include going out to eat. It may include movies, something like that. But it's the talking is the beginning
Beginning.
stages. But it also could
Operative
be
word.
it also
Beginning.
the dating because we get a little bit serious. You know what I'm saying? Maybe to me personally, it's just my personal. Don't get me people,
No.
but dating is like if I mean because I'm used to just maybe necessarily being the one person. So you're dating, going different places. But talking is what it is. I met you. I
No,
met you
but
wherever.
I
It could
think
be
you said it.
done. It is.
Yeah, yeah.
Huh?
But you said it's the initial.
Yeah.
I agree
Yeah.
with you. I concur with that. That's like the
Okay.
initial stages before you actually get to dating. If we're talking, I could be
Yep.
talking to one or two people, but if we're actually dating,
Mm-hmm.
it's different. A little different. I
All
agree.
right.
Yep.
So, man's point of view, my point of view. Uh, no, I'm saying no. The complicated. I'm gonna stick to the things. Dating more complicated now. I
That's
would
not
say,
perfect.
it is more complicated now. And in my 20s, you going out clubbing, you doing things, and you that clubbing, that might consist of, hey, yeah, going clubbing, going out to eat, chill, all that kind of stuff like that. Now, in my 40s, uh, you know, most women I have met, they want to be wine and dine, they want to be taken out, they want to
Absolutely.
be treated like a lady.
Amen. Like
Not just no talking, not all that kind of stuff. They want to go ahead and want to feel wanted.
yes.
All
Yes.
that good
It's
stuff. You know what I'm saying?
interested in
Wanted,
me.
they feel wanted, and it's about me and that kind of stuff. So
Absolutely.
there is
Yeah.
definitely, there's nothing wrong with that. It is different. It
No,
is
no, no.
different. It is different. And then, like
Yes.
Shannon said, and Shannon and Dion, like we all talked about in the previous question state statement, it's more real, because now
Yeah.
you're looking for, you may be looking for a husband, you may be looking for companionship, but you want somebody you can rock and roll with and trust. And that means we're gonna do a lot of things. That could be traveling, that could be
Yeah.
going out to eat, gotta be barbecues, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I think it is more, but it's not a bad thing. That means that, hey, it ain't got no time for no games. if
Absolutely.
if you interested, let's do this. If not, get off my phone.
Who wait
So
for?
that kind of stuff. So I mean, that's
Who
that's
we talking
that's it's real. It's real. It's
Keep it
definitely real.
moving. Keep it moving.
And I have got.
Yeah. But you know, if you're gonna click with somebody, you really
Absolutely.
know that. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? It's some instance, some things take a little gradual, but you really kind of know, hey, especially at the first three encounters, I feel like at least you know either this is something that's gonna be moving forward
After
or it's
the
not.
first.
At the
But
what?
After the first, you know.
I don't
Well,
know,
Lord,
man. Some some
sometimes at
Uh,
first,
some
things
and then
a little different.
I
With
don't
the
know,
first,
and then sometimes
I get a whole different person.
sometimes some people try to come back around. All right, here we go.
uh,
Here we go. Is it okay for your spouse or boyfriend, girlfriend to have a best friend of the opposite gender? Wow, this is the loaded one, because you got to be. Yeah, I'm not even gonna spill it. So, Dion, let's get you. Let's let you rock and roll with this one
Yeah,
first.
I think it's okay. You got to be secure in yourself and your relationship, but that's also where
mhm.
boundaries have to be in place, and the boundaries that you set for the person you with. So that's where it's essential. Where that person, like my okay, speaking in existence, my boyfriend would need to set boundaries with whoever if he had a best friend as a girl. It's just that's all it is to it. I think it could exist, but it's just the boundaries.
Don't let him say this my homegirl. That's totally different.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
Yeah. No.
or a girl say that's my homeboy. No, they ain't your best
No,
friend.
you can
No,
be
no,
cool with
I'm just
people.
saying this. I'm just throwing it out there.
But yeah, you can be cool with the opposite sex or whatever. When you talk about it, you reference somebody as your best friend or whatever, it's still some boundaries that has to be in there. And then you know what I'm saying? It's like otherwise, then you really kind of setting up that significant other to be pissed off, jealous, upset. Who got time for that? You know what I'm saying? I just feel like it just really
Hmm.
needs to be established. It can happen, but
Well, check
boundaries
this
have to
out.
be put in place. And it has to be some respect on both sides. It really does.
But
Otherwise, then
check this
then
out.
this ain't gonna it ain't gonna work.
Check this out. So your husband, your boyfriend, you guys in a heated battle, argument or disagreement. Where you going, man? I'm going over my, you ain't gonna say best friend, but most say I'm going to my best friend. Well, my best friend is Roger. You know what I'm saying? So you know Roger, man. I'm going over her. I'll be back later on. All of a sudden, take Roger out of there. Where you going? I'm going with my best friend, Tiffany. It's kind of a little different, ain't it?
Well, I mean, if he's not bothered, then why should I be bothered? I feel like my thing is the whole boundary. I mean, where's your relationship?
Right.
Where how is your relationship defined? I mean, and this is a 52-year-old person speaking versus someone that was in their 20s or 30s and even 40s. You know what I'm saying? In my 50s, I'm just like that's it's a whole different okay, it's a different look. Because if you're gonna disrespect me, you're gonna disrespect me, period. It's not gonna be when we just upset. I just feel like that whole boundary is just needs to be in place. Because also respect on that side, then maybe that's not where you need to tell me that you're going. I just it's a whole different outlook. But I ain't gonna say that if when I was younger that I would be like, what? I mean, because that's a trigger. That's a button pusher right there. But the older one, okay, okay, okay. Because you go see Tiffany. I may go be seeing Roger.
You better call Tyrone. Shannon, let's go.
You know what? I think it can be. I think echo some of what if not all, what she said as far as the boundaries. I think if it's set, it has to be set. I think as you get older, it might be a little bit different. I mean, I would hope if my significant other does have a female that is a best friend that I am introduced to this person,
Of
and stuff
course.
like that. Not to
I
say that
hope
he's
so too.
not well. Sometimes I guess sometimes it might be a little different, but I mean,
But it's already
me
suspicious
personally,
if I don't meet him.
me personally, I
Right.
wouldn't have any problem with it. I mean, I think you have to be secure in yourself. Then and anything can happen though. You know what I'm saying? Hell, anything can happen if he had a best friend that was a male. I mean, you never know. I mean, you just never
True.
know. But my
True.
thing is,
True.
yeah, I mean, it could. I mean, it could.
True.
So my thing is this: I think you have to be secure in yourself. As far as that goes, as far as if it's a girl, a boy, whoever his best friend is, and knowing, and you gotta have trust. I gotta be trusting him that this is strictly
Right.
what it is. And I think if the trust is not there, I think it's when the problem occurs because then you're gonna be I'm going or she's whoever you're gonna be always thinking about that. I don't have time for that. I don't want to be in a relationship and I always have to constantly worry
Yep.
about you whether or not you with the girl, the best friend, and you doing something. Man, I don't
I could,
want you.
yeah.
I can be by
Boy,
myself
your
and do
hey,
okay.
your Wi-Fi cleared up big time. You on task now.
Mm,
All right.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
That's the end.
But what
The end.
Shannon
But yeah.
said is true in terms of, and I said initially too, in terms of as you get older, I feel like it's a whole different. Now, when you very much, I feel like more vulnerable when you are in your 20s and 30s in
Mhm.
situations like that. Because now, like I said, you
Well,
go,
50s,
okay,
I
that's
don't
where
care.
you're going. Okay, okay. Because you know
50s,
what,
you don't care. I
and
don't
then
care.
if I don't even know it, if it's a secret anyway, it's a whole issue. Like, yeah. So, mm-mm,
Mm.
I'm good. I think it can. I think it
What about
exists.
you?
It can exist.
What about you in your 40s? What about you? How you
Uh,
feel about that?
I don't know. I'm gonna be raw and uncut. It would probably take
Mm-mm.
me a lot of praying on it. No, I'm playing. Not for real. No. On the real. I don't. You know what? I'm secure with myself. Like, if things gonna happen, it's gonna happen. So if you got a best
Yeah.
friend, like Shannon said, you can have a girlfriend. A girl that's a best friend. You can do something with her. I don't.
Hmm.
In my 20s, I have an issue. I have an issue. Oh, in my 20s. Oh, yeah, man, that ain't happening. I mean, we can't be, for real. In my 40s, almost 50, I'm more comfortable now that I'm not worried about that. Like, so if you do that, you do that. It's your loss. I move on. I do what I got
Yeah.
to do. I'm not worried about all that.
That's how.
You know what I'm saying? And you piece of trash
Like,
anyway. But in my
Who's
20s,
it now?
I had an issue. 20s is like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Let me see everybody's
Yep,
IDs.
yep,
That's my
yep.
cousin. That's my cousin. Let me see his
30s, 30s,
ID. Who's he
20s, and
kin
30s.
to?
Not just 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
I'm
just
just
20s.
saying.
Me,
50s like, I
30s
don't care.
too, but it's
And
20s.
I'm
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
saying
I
in
can
my
hear.
20s, I'm carding
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Who's this?
Oh, yeah.
Nah, I ain't never seen you at no cookout. What's all that? You best
Yeah,
friend. Best friend gonna come to cookout, right? Something. I ain't never seen you. That's different. But in my 40s,
Yeah.
almost 50s, it's like, hey man, do what you do. Hey, I'm good. I'm good. Believe
Oh, yeah.
me. I'll ring the bell on you like this in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Next.
because
I
you ain't
mean,
got
that's
time
true.
for that. Like I said, it's a whole different. I feel like where somebody was in their earlier years or whatever. And again, I referenced 20s and 30s. It's just a whole lot of difference, especially where I am now. And again, especially, well, William's not in his 50s yet, but Shannon and I are. And it's a whole different, like, you know what? If you're going to do something, you're going to do it regardless. So
I
it's
think
about being respectful. And if you're not
right.
respectful, then I don't get time for it.
I mean, I just think now, even though it's just a little bit, it's definitely off topic or whatever. But it's like, we when you of age, meaning like late 40s, early 50s, like Dion and Shannon said, and I've said, you got a lot of other stuff going on. Kids graduation, they get ready to probably have families or maybe have family. All kinds of stuff go out. So my whole thing is, I people don't know, Mark and Will show. So that's my baby besides F&C. So it's like I'm trying to do other things, and like if you ain't ready for that, so you can call that my girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? And if you can't
Respectful,
accept
yeah.
that, you know what I'm saying? If you can't respect that, then yeah, it's gonna be short lived. You know what I'm saying? So and then about it, everybody's got different things. So what's popping off? So if you got time to
Mhm.
spend with Ruford and do all the kind of stuff that that you should probably maybe be doing with me, then maybe a little issue. But other than that, you got to be comfortable in your own skin. You got to be comfortable in everything else, and then you got to
Absolutely.
also know that as you going through the how we go through that talking phase. I'm gonna find out about Rufus anyway. Should
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
you
Yeah,
go through
and
the
definitely.
that's
dating?
what I
We
feel
go through
like.
the
Yeah,
dating
Shannon said
stage.
it on
Yeah,
point with that.
yeah.
That's
It,
that's the initial for me too. That's the initial stage
Yeah.
right there.
So if we going on date and I still ain't heard about Rufus, all of a sudden we going on that
Yeah,
we together and I ain't heard, but then Rufus does not exist. That is bullshit.
Yeah.
right.
So
Yeah,
and I ain't got time for all that. So it is what it is.
right. Stop,
It
stop
is
playing
what.
with me and start wasting my time. Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't gonna do all that. I ain't got no time for that. Anything y'all want to talk about as far as any new places you guys visit, anything like
I
that
like to
before we
say
get off
something.
here?
I like to say something before we leave, and it's nothing. It's nothing new to either you or Dion. But I was able to go to the craft house today. I never went before. I mean, all those times everybody else on
We
this
try to
panel
get
has
you
went.
there.
I know. I know.
We
I know.
did.
And actually,
Daniel said,
it was
Daniel
actually
said you're at the football
it's
games. You got
actually
to come.
can I come on now?
Right.
It was actually good food. I mean, the drinks was good. The
I'm
pizza was
sure.
absolutely fabulous. I
This
mean,
is
I
great.
like certain pizzas, Bernos, but that goes up there with me. I would actually go. I would definitely go back. I mean, I thought it was a good
We'll find
establishment,
out in the fall.
roomy. I loved it. Well, just because I don't go with you on the phone don't mean I'm not gonna go back because it's late time. You know what I'm saying? I like to be at home. I'm old, so um. But I thought it was fabulous. I thought the
You gotta
pizza was
catch
absolutely
you
great.
gotta catch that
I appreciate
FaceTime
the
call.
invite. Well,
It's all
what's the
good.
face time?
I don't know what's going on over.
No, sorry.
I
It's
know,
a
like dang.
malfunction going on. Sorry.
Okay, no. All right.
I'm
Anything?
back.
Okay. Anything before
Huh?
we log off with you? Anything that you need
Well,
to express?
we went to the House of Marigold last Saturday
Oh yeah,
for brunch,
forgot about that.
and that is absolutely wonderful. The ambiance,
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
food, the staff. I mean, it was just wonderful, and that's on Chevrolet Road. It's relatively new.
Hmm,
Definitely highly recommended.
interesting.
Um,
Hmm.
yeah, it was really nice. It was really nice, and so they have a salmon dip that is to die for. I feel like that, and that chicken sandwich. So
The
Can
definitely
chicken
they see?
sandwich
an
is
A
Can they
plus
see?
for me.
Can they see the big company like a big party? Can they see the big party?
I think so. I think.
We
Well, I
had
mean, how
8.
big is it? I think they can.
Okay.
Yeah, we had 8, and that was good. That was a nice amount,
That's,
and
I hope all 8 is
it was just
following the
really,
FNC.
and it's not really big. It's not huge. It's quaint. So I felt like that, just again, it's the ambiance too of this of the place. It's wonderful. Kudos to I don't know her name and her husband's name, but definitely very welcoming. And it's just the food is excellent, and it
The
definitely
drinks are good
plan to
too.
go back.
Drinks good.
You keep
Drinks are good.
saying that.
Yes, plan. Yes, plan to go back. Hopefully sooner than later.
Good, good. All right, hey, thank you guys for joining us tonight. Great conversations,
Thank
all this kind of
you.
stuff. So, hey, definitely be back, and we got a lot of stuff left in the trailer. So, God bless you
Yes.
guys.
Good night. God
Peace.
bless.
Good
Peace.
night. Good night.